everybody, welcome back to the channel. So what we're doing something different today. Today we're actually going to be doing a walkthrough of our RV. So what we have here is the 2021 Entegra Accolade 37K. Some of you might be familiar with this model. It's actually the sister line to the Jayco Seneca series. So if you've seen those around on the road, you definitely have seen one of these. They're the same exact thing. So this RV is actually named Blessings. We named it Blessings because we wanted to be a blessing to everyone that we knew who did not necessarily know anything about RVing. And because they didn't know much about RVing, we wanted to be able to show them that even we can get out there in RV too. So without delay, I'll give you a brief history as to another reason why we purchased this RV. So we actually got this RV for a retirement gift for me. However, there was some things that actually changed our minds as to how we wanted to go about traveling and, you know, seeing the country and everything. And one thing we wanted to get away from was, one of the things that we wanted to get away from was actually staying in hotels. And you know, my wife, if you guys ever met her in real life, you know that she's a very huge cleanophobe or germaphobe or whatever you want to call it. But she has OCD, and hotels just was not in the question. And this is all pre-pandemic, so we had to find a different alternative means of living somewhere while on the road visiting places. So we invested in an RV. We looked at everything from travel trailers to Class A's to fifth wheels to eventually setting on C's and eventually going with this Super C model. Something people don't know is that the Super C models are on a truck-based chassis. So you have regular C's. Regular C's would be something similar to this over here. The white leprechaun right there. That would be a regular C model vehicle. Well, this is a Super C. So the Super C is based on a truck chassis, and for us, it's actually based on the S2RV chassis. The S2RV chassis is a chassis specifically made by Freightliner for the RV industry. A lot of times you'll see the Freightliner models built on the M2 chassis, which is a real truck chassis. Those can tow up to a lot more weight, and they have a bigger engine on the inside. For those who don't know, this is a 6.7 liter inline six Cummins diesel engine, very similar to the same Cummins diesel engine that you'll find in your Ram 2500 and 3500 series. So the numbers and the specs are pretty much just the same as those. Only difference is the actual chassis that runs the length of the coach is what you're getting the Freightliner for, as well as this chassis actually comes with air suspension only in the rear. So almost like a Class A where you have a air suspension in the rear and in the front, this actually has a truck suspension in the front. And since I've had it, I've actually done one modification. Dee, basically, those who don't know, Dee likes to drive sometimes, and when she drives, she gets a little stressed out behind the wheel because of the way it drives. It's much better driving than a Class A, but similar to driving a big truck. So therefore, I installed a stabilizer bar. So in there, you can probably barely see it. There's a stabilizer bar. And the stabilizer bar basically keeps the steering from shifting all over the place. It allows you to kind of like keep the, when you do a turn, it brings that turn back to lock position, so that way you're back to center faster, and it's less stress on your arms in the driving mechanism, so to say. So as we're coming around the chassis, the one thing I like about the Super C's compared to, let's say, a Class A or, you know, a Class B, well, not necessarily a Class B, but definitely a Class A and most fifth wheels, and all fifth wheels if you ask me, is that we actually have three different points of entry. We have the main driver door, the passenger door, and we also have the coach door. So the coach door is the main access into the coach. So the main access, as you just saw, this allows you entry and exit into the actual coach, allowing for 3 different points of modes of entry. You know, for safety, I like that. I like the fact that I can be able to get out of any one of these 3 doors if something was to go wrong. Coming over here, we actually have a outdoor entertainment system. Now, apparently these TVs are waterproof. I don't know yet. I've tried to clean it as much as I could, but I've seen some people basically take a water hose and spray this whole thing down. I'm not that confident yet, so I'm not going to try it. But we also have, you know, this Furion speaker system. It's a DVD player. Future, I will be changing that out. So take a look. So yeah, and that's pretty much the entertainment system. So I'm not going to show all the compartments today, but I will just show this one. This one compartment is about half the size of all of our compartments. We have roughly 11 compartments that are underneath the actual part of the coach, where you can store things. This RV can actually tow cargo carrying capacity of almost 7,000 pounds. So you can have about 7,000 pounds worth of people and materials that you're going to bring with you. I don't know what you're going to be bringing that's going to be that much weight, but you got that much weight just in case. So for me, I brought along this. So for me, this was one of my favorite things. I kept seeing people have a Blackstone grill, and I kept telling myself, I don't need one, I don't need one. But not having an outdoor kitchen told me that I need to get a Blackstone grill. Well, for me, I kind of like French fries as well, so I got the Blackstone Adventure Ready grill and air fryer. I said it before, but there will be a review coming up on this. Maybe Diggy will do the review for that. So we'll see, we'll see. And to finish up on the outside out here, I'm gonna show you guys how to actually get into the driver's seat and how easy it is. So for those who don't know, I'm about 6'1", 280 pounds, maybe 290 on a bad day. I'm trying to get that down, so don't mock me. Help me if anything. And I'm not talking about just, you know, wishful words. I need some like actual help. So anywho, yeah, this is me getting into the coach. As you can see, the door opens up fairly wide, and you know, you have the driver's seat here and the steering wheel. Now getting into the coach is fairly easy. You know, I got my keys in one hand. A lot of people, you know, especially older people, they may decide to go ahead and put their keys like on the seat. The reason being is because you have a grab handle right here on the door, and because this is a truck, you actually have a grab handle right here. So for what I do is I typically get up here like this, one foot in, the other foot in, while grabbing this steering wheel and stepping in. Now, once in the RV, you're at a commanding position here. Like I said, right now we're at the storage. So, you know, as you can see, I have my screen protectors up. That way it keeps all the heat out. But you're at a commanding position while you're sitting in here. It's a very upright position, and you're not really cramped. You have room to stretch your legs out. Like I said, I'm 6'1", and I got plenty of room in here. You know, for my head up here, I got plenty of room. Shoulder room, I got plenty of room. And like I said, I'm a big guy, so if I can get in here, chances are you can get in here. Okay. So that pretty much wraps up the whole exterior. In the interior, slight walkthrough of my part. So like I said before, you know, this is a 2021 Entegra Accolade. If you have any questions, we'll probably put the specs and everything on another sheet or something on the next page or down below, or we'll figure something out with that. we'll be switching it over to digging, and he'll take care of the interior.
So I'm doing the interior of the 2021 Entegra Accolade 37K. So starting off here, I'm going to mention a few things. One, you have equalizer system in the front, so you can download it on a computer or phone, or you could just use it here. So right here you do have a bunk for any kids coming along with you. Right there you do have a shade, so you can watch the stars a little bit or just do something. But unfortunately we do have some shades in the back, so no heat can really go in. So right here you do have a pantry, so you can store cereal boxes or cookies or whatever you need to store in here. Right here you do have a dinette. This dinette does fold down to come into a bed. We never really used it yet, so we're gonna probably do a video on that. So right here you do have a kitchen. There is an extension, so you can put other things here, so like dishes or food or whatever. Right here you have a sink, faucet. Right here you do have some drawers, one on the bottom too. Right here, under here, there's a grill, so you can make pancakes and whatnot.
Propane stove?
Propane, yes. Propane stove. Right here, you do have cabinets right here. And you do have a Furion convection microwave, so you can technically make pizza and oatmeal technically in this convection. Right here, you do have a Whirlpool refrigerator, and I think it's residential. Yes, okay, so it's residential, very big refrigerator. It does have a lock on it, so when you're driving on the road, the refrigerator won't open like out of nowhere. So up here you do have AC. So there's two ACs, one in the front, one in the rear. So coming over here in the living room, you do have a living room, and you're probably asking yourself, why is this pillow here? Well, there is an extension here, so let me pull that out. So yeah, that's the extension for your living room. Right here you do have seat belts, so when you're driving on the road you can buckle yourself up and don't really go all over the place. Right here you do have an Insignia TV. I prefer a Samsung. Right here you do have your sound bar, and right here you do have all your entertainment stuff.
Stuff Daddy needs to clean up. I guess I'll fix that one day.
So right here you do have a fireplace, and I think it's electrical or furnace.
It's electric.
Okay, so it's electric. I'll probably turn that on later. But right in here you do have your half bath. Right here you do have all your lights. This one has a bath fan, so you can technically turn on your fan. Right here is a cabinet for your toothpaste or whatever. You can turn on accent light, and you can dimmer the lights. And right here you do have a window and a toilet right here. So right here you do have a queen bed.
King size. RV king size. So I'll talk more about this one. So we actually switched out our bed. This came with an RV king size bed. However, we switched it out about after our second trip, realizing that the RV mattress that it came with was just not adequate. So we switched it out. I forgot the name of the brand. I'll put it in the description below. Actually, a lot of the items that we added onto the RV, I'll put it on the description below. And none of this stuff is sponsored, so just so everyone's aware, you know, in case you're wanting to purchase it, I'll just put the link there where we actually got ours from.
So up there you do have AC. This is your second AC. Right there you do have a mirror, but that's actually a cabinet, one over here too. Right. So, yep, so that's the cabinet. There's one over here too. Below here you do have tons of drawers. I think like 8 drawers. So yeah, 8 drawers down there. And right here on the bed you do have a reading light, so when you're reading you can actually turn on these lights. And one over here too. Above here you do have cabinets for like CPAPs or whatnot.
Now unfortunately with those cabinets up there, we do not have plugs inside. We did see someone do an interview, or not an interview, but we did see someone do a review of an Entegra a while back ago, and they were asking where's the plugs. Well, there's no plugs up here. They're actually down here. So literally on the side of the bed, right there, on both sides of the bed, you can barely see that because of the lighting, but on both sides of the bed there are plugs for the CPAP machine.
Yes.
And I think we'll end up moving the plugs from down there and putting some plugs up here somewhere. We'll figure out how to do that. Now, something I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and take over the rest of this because it's kind of small in this area right here. But this is our other bathroom. So this is the main bathroom, the shower area. Now for the shower area, I can actually fit in this. I'm not gonna do a height test or anything, but I can actually fit in this. And you have the toilet right here. We put that little strip over so that nobody would use it while we're basically sitting still. And inside here is where we will put our washer and dryer. Now currently we're waiting on our washer and dryer because of parts delay, and we actually ordered one and still haven't got it yet, so that's another story for another day. And back to digging.
So I forgot to mention, but behind this TV there is storage, which is pretty cool, but it's actually on hinges, so you want to close it carefully. And that's technically it.
So that's the whole walkthrough of the 2021 Entegra Accolade. Now, a long time ago we did our first video and we actually asked the question, you know, what was some things that you like and some things that you dislike. We got that from one of our one of the YouTubers that we watch, and guess we'll go ahead and shout him out, Matt from RV Reviews. Unfortunately, we did not buy from General RV. We actually purchased from National Indoor RV. Reason being is because at the time there was just a very short amount of Class C's or Super C's in the market. So we basically was at a point where we had to figure out, you know, who should we go with. And although we trusted Matt, we just couldn't wait that long, so we went with National Indoor RV. But something Matt does is he does 3 things they like and 3 things they dislike.
Yes.
Well, we did 1 thing we like and 1 thing we dislike. So now that we've had it for almost 9 months, so now that we had our RV for almost 9 months, I guess the question is, after ownership, what's the 1 thing that you like and the 1 thing that you dislike, Diggy?
So, first thing I like about it is that I don't really know. Probably this residential fridge. I mean, it's technically big. You can't really fit in like a Class C or a Class B, but this is actually a residential fridge from Whirlpool, and it's technically big. You can probably fit like big water balls in there.
And what's the second thing you dislike?
I don't really like only having 2 slide outs. I wish, because this RV is pretty long, I wish they had like a slide out here right by this fridge, so then you have a slide out for the kitchen when this is extended out, and then you have a slide out where I'm sitting at, and then you have a bedroom slide out over there. I technically want 3 slide outs, not 2.
Okay. And I guess for me, I would say for me, the number 1 thing I wish, well, I ain't gonna say wish, I'm gonna say the number 1 thing I dislike. I'm gonna start off with my dislike. The number 1 thing I dislike would probably be the same thing as Diggy just mentioned. Like, I dislike the fact that this isn't a opposing slide RV. Opposing slides is similar to what Diggy was talking about, was basically the 2 slides are across from each other, which gives you a much more walking space and much more room inside the coach, because basically you have the 2 opposing slides open the space up more. I wish it had opposing slides, and with this floor plan I think opposing slides would be really, really good. Something to think about, Entegra, if you're watching. Opposing slides on the 37K. I think people will like that a whole lot. The 1 thing I love the most is having the bath and a half. At first I was apprehensive to it. Not that I was cleaning the bathrooms or anything, but I definitely looked at saying to myself, like, okay, well, you know, having that extra bathroom and, you know, just having that ability to say, okay, hey, here's 1 bathroom, but then if I need to, I can walk down the hall and go use that bathroom. Although I will say, caveat to that, it would be nice to have it would be nice to have a larger shower. I'm not talking about in height wise, I'm thinking a larger shower width wise. Like I said, I have broad shoulders, so my shoulders are fairly, you know, fairly broad here. So it's not like I'm a small guy, and as I said before, I'm pretty big. And having that ability to fit in certain spaces, especially in the RV, you either become smaller or you need your space to become bigger. And for me, becoming smaller ain't been my thing for the past 21 years. So I'll try to keep getting bigger as long as the wife lets me. So outside of that, I don't really have anything else for this review. Is that it?
I guess we could do some of the specs.
So yeah, we'll put the specs at the bottom, or not at the, well, yeah, we'll put it in the description, and we'll also put up a little slide of the actual specs of the RV so that you can get the roundabout reasoning of what exactly it is. But outside of that, you got anything else you want to say?
Yes, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and share too. hit the notification bell so you can get notified on our latest journeys.
Yeah, so just like he said, you know, hit that notification bell. If you do not hit that notification bell, unfortunately, you don't get notified when we upload a new video.
Yeah.
And just so everyone's aware, we actually, we're almost about to hit our 50 subscriber mark. So I think we didn't expect to get 50, let alone, you know, as many views as we've gotten so far. But we appreciate everything you guys have said, and, you know, appreciate the comments, appreciate the likes, and all the views that we've gotten on our videos.
Yeah, we should put that on the TV.
Well, yeah, well, no.
Yeah, we have like 700 plus views on our first one. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, so a lot of views on that first video. We're getting there on the rest of the videos, and you know, we're steady trying to make the videos better. Although school's about to start, so our summer project's coming to a slow, you know, unfortunately. Womp womp. We'll try to get more videos out. We also got some reviews coming up. We have our Skydio drone review. A lot of people keep asking, you know, like, how do you even spell Skydio, and what does it do, and why should I get that over a DJI, you know, Mavic or whatever.
Cheaper.
You know, well, it's a little cheaper, but you know, there's more to come with that. And but outside of that, you know, we just wish everyone, you know, love, hope, and happiness, and may blessings be on everyone. So until next time.
Peace.